Chelsea fans, are you ready for some electrifying news? In the final days of the January transfer window, our beloved club is setting its sights on a sensational young talent from Juventus, a player who could redefine our attacking options. Rumors are swirling about a potential $90 million move for a 19-year-old winger who's catching the eye of top clubs across Europe. This is not just a mere speculation. It's about building a future filled with promise and excitement. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like to keep up with all the latest developments surrounding Chelsea. Chelsea is making waves in the transfer market, and as a passionate fan, I can't help but feel a surge of excitement about our club's ambitions. With Enzo Maresca at the helm and currently sitting 6th in the Premier League, the pressure is on to secure Champions League qualification. It's a tough battle, and the club knows it needs to strengthen the squad. One of the most intriguing names emerging in the transfer gossip is Kenan Yildiz from Juventus. Reports suggest that Chelsea is ready to spend up to $90 million, which is around $75 million on this 19-year-old winger. Now, let's talk about what makes Yildiz such a hot property. For one, he's a Turkish international with a creative flair and versatility that can add a new dimension to our attack. He's not just another left winger. He brings the ability to drift inside and link up play, creating scoring opportunities for both himself and his teammates. It's clear that Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain are also eyeing this talented young player, so Chelsea faces stiff competition. But that's what makes this pursuit so thrilling. The club is sending a strong message that it's not just about quick fixes. We are looking to the future, investing in young talents who can become cornerstones of the Chelsea squad for years to come. Honestly, do you think this was the best decision? I'm torn. On one hand, Yildiz represents a massive potential upside, and with his skill set, he could be a game-changer in crucial matches. But on the other hand, what about our current squad depth? Can we afford to invest so heavily in one player when we might need reinforcements in other areas? It's a complex situation, and I'm eager to hear what you all think. This move for Yildiz signifies the club's ambition to build a competitive and dynamic team. It's not just about winning now, it's about creating a legacy. With young stars like Yildiz, we could have a core of players that not only perform at the highest level but also resonate with the fans and embody the spirit of Chelsea. That connection is vital, and it's something we've seen with players who have come up through the ranks or joined us young and developed into fan favorites. The impact of these strategic moves cannot be overstated. If Chelsea can secure Yildiz, it could elevate our attacking options significantly. Imagine him linking up with players like Raheem Sterling or Enzo Fernandez. What a dynamic frontline that could be. It's these kinds of partnerships that can unlock defenses and turn tight matches in our favor. But let's not forget the emotional side of this. As fans, we invest our hopes and dreams into the club. Every transfer saga brings with it a roller coaster of emotions. The excitement of potential new signings, the anxiety of competition from other clubs, and the hopes that these players can fulfill their promise and become legends in blue. The thought of watching a young talent like Yildiz dazzle at Stamford Bridge is enough to get any fan buzzing. There's always something happening at Chelsea, especially as the transfer deadline day closes in. Today, we've got some intriguing developments coming out of Stamford Bridge. Ben Chilwell is reportedly set to make a move to Crystal Palace, and Axel Disasi is linked with a potential transfer to Tottenham. But what's really got my attention is the ongoing chatter about Alejandro Garnacho. The buzz is that Chelsea may still have a chance to bring the $60 million rated winger on board. Now folks, let's break this down. Ben Jacobs, a reliable voice on the London is Blue podcast, has been discussing Chelsea's interest in Garnacho. He suggests that if Chelsea decides to make a late bid, there's a deal to be done. But here's the kicker. There's no formal bid on the table just yet. So, what does that mean for us as fans? Honestly, I'm torn here. On one hand, bringing in a young talent like Garnacho could be a fantastic move for the club. He's shown flashes of brilliance at Manchester United, and let's face it, Chelsea could use some fresh blood to inject creativity into our squad. However, we've seen how tricky it can be to sign players from our rivals. Historically, it hasn't always worked out in our favor. Just look at Jadon Sancho and Juan Sebastian Veron. Their moves didn't live up to expectations, and those past flops are hard to ignore. Jacobs also mentioned a hypothetical scenario involving Christopher Nkunku. If Nkunku were to move to Manchester, United. It could open the door for Chelsea to swoop in for Garnacho. But the question remains, do we really want to gamble on it? Nkunku is already an asset for us, and if he's banging in goals for United while being on loan, are we really going to be satisfied with just a temporary arrangement? It seems risky to me. Another angle to consider is the valuation. Chelsea would likely want some sort of option or obligation included in the deal if they were to let Nkunku go. But let's be real, if Manchester United can't meet that number, why would we even entertain this idea? We need clarity from the club on their intentions here, especially with deadline day looming. Now, as fans, we have to contemplate the implications of these potential transfers. If Chelsea opts to go big on Garnacho, what does that mean for our current squad? Are we prepared to see some of our players leave? It raises a lot of questions about squad depth and balance. If we're losing a key player like Nkunku, we need to ensure that any incoming talent can seamlessly integrate and hit the ground running. And here's the reality check. Trading players between Chelsea and Manchester United hasn't yielded the best results for either side. Just look at Mason Mount and Juan Mata. While Mata had his moments, he never quite reached the heights he achieved at Chelsea. Mount, on the other hand, has struggled significantly in his transition to United. It's almost as if there's a psychological barrier when players switch between these two clubs. So, the million-dollar question remains. Is pursuing Garnacho the right path for Chelsea? Personally, I'm not fully convinced. There's no denying his talent, but I worry about the risk involved. We've already seen how players moving between rivals can underperform, and 60 million is a hefty price to pay for potential uncertainty. But I want to hear from you, Chelsea fans. What do you think about this potential move for Garnacho? Is it worth the risk, or should we take a step back and reassess our strategy? Join the debate in the comments below. Your insights matter, and I'm sure other fans would love to read your thoughts. And if you're enjoying the coverage and want to stay updated on all things Chelsea, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates. Let's keep this conversation going, and hopefully, we'll see some exciting developments as the transfer window draws to a close.